The U.S. EPA has granted a biofuel waiver to billionaire Carl Icahn and his oil refinery. Now, there's a specific law, and it is called the U.S. Renewable Fuel Standards Program. If you could put up graphic 35, it has a requirement for certain levels of biofuel to be added to levels of oil. And this is to do three different things. It's to stop pollution, it's to reduce dependence on foreign oil, and it's to help the corn growers that contribute to ethanol in the United States. And so under the Obama administration, or Obama's EPA, there was this hardship exemption that was given out to very small refineries that could not meet these standards. And if they were to try and meet these standards, they would go out of business. So under Obama's EPA, 5 to 8 of these hardships exemptions were given out a year. Under Scott Pruitt last year, 25 or so were given out. One was given to CVR Energy, which is owned by Carl Icahn. Carl Icahn, you may recognize as being a close personal friend of Donald Trump. He is also a longtime Trump campaign supporter and a longtime friend of Wall Street. So you may have recognized that he was a special regulatory advisor to the Republican president last August, but he had to step down after lawmakers pointed out there are ethical problems with an advisor who is also an investor and thereby making money off of policies that he might help craft. He is under investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice for his role in influencing biofuels while serving as Trump's advisor. And previously, they haven't shown complete records, but it was shown that Icahn CVR Energy was denied this very hardship exemption before under Obama, but has it now. It's not clear how much money he is saving. According to Reuters, CVR has reported $23 million in profit in the biofuels credit market in the first quarter of 2018 due to what it called a lower RFS obligation, an unusual return for a refiner that has no biofuel blending facilities. The company also said it expects its cost of complying with the RFS requirements to fall to $80 million for the entirety of 2018 from a previous estimate of $200 million and from roughly $249 million in 2017. Now, the person who's in charge of the EPA is Scott Pruitt. Scott Pruitt, you may have heard of before in his various money-wasting expenditures, having 24 hours security, buying a soundproof booth for some reason. He is also very well known to be in the pocket of big oil. He has been working against the EPA for years. He has sued them multiple times. If you throw up graphic 38, so this is Scott Pruitt's LinkedIn profile. On it, he says he's a leading advocate against the EPA's activist agenda. This is a man who does not care about the environment. This is a man who is just another glad-hander giving or selling off the only planet that we have to live on in order of short-term monetary gain to the likes of Carl Icahn.
This is the same Carl Icahn who, if you remember back in March, made news again because leading up to Donald Trump's potential tariff war with China, he dumped $31 billion approximately of his stocks in steel. I mean, obviously that wasn't enough to get him flagged by the Securities and Exchange Commission in any way, because that's just how business is done, obviously. But he denied any wrongdoing in that. So we should take him on his word. Obviously, he's an honorable businessman, just like every other billionaire in this country. So yeah, that's what I wanted to add about Carl Icahn.
Well, it's just ridiculous that he's saying he has a hardship exemption when he's a billionaire. He has so much money. This is not necessary. It's just another way to profit off of our government, which should not be putting money in the pockets of profiteers and corporatists.
Yeah, he could be a billionaire and then have his company separately experience hardship, but then on top of that, CVR is also has reported $23 million in profit. So it's not like his company's doing poorly either. He's just adding on.
That's only in the biofuel credit market, though, so it's way more than that.
Yeah,
right. And he'll get tens of millions of dollars as a result of this, as Hannah was saying, and as Hassan is suggesting, he's got this administration wired. He was actually part of shaping policy within this administration until it was just too awkward for him to continue, and it prompted a formal investigation. Yeah, this is just another oligarch who is now part of the oligarch club that runs this country now. I mean, it really is so nakedly obvious what's going on. The idea that he would get this waiver, and then, as is said, this generates more poisons that are then discharged into the air. In other words, there's real damage being done here. It's just not a Wall Street smoke and mirrors type situation where somebody's doing some insider trading because they got some inside word. That's bad enough, having the system wired up. But there are real consequences, environmental consequences at the end of it.
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below. Then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.